Today's card is made using several of the cacti images from Close to My Heart's Flower Market Cartridge, along with Close to My Heart cardstock. The products I use for today's card are the Flower Market Cartridge from Close to My Heart and Cricut. I use several of the cacti images, and I use the Aztec vase image, and I used a little flower image all from the same cartridge. I also used pre-made cards from Close to My Heart that are 5.5 by 4.25. I also used some zig markers and flesh and blush, and colored in some of the front of the card to give it a little bit earthy tone. And I also used Close to My Heart cardstock in New England ivy, in pear, topiary, sunset, eggplant, and sweet leaf. Most of those are green. I also forgot I used the lagoon for the some of the vases, the Aztec vases. So the biggest thing with this card is cutting out all the layers of the vases and of the cacti. So let's get started, and I'll show you vase by vase and cacti by cacti what it took to cut these out. The first Aztec vase I used was what I would call the regular sized one, and it was 1.33 wide by 1.12 height, and it's cut in sunset and lagoon. I have the detailed instructions for every cut on my website, margaritasmadness.com. So if you refer to that, you will see pictures and every cut of every vase and every cacti. The second vase was a larger vase, a taller vase, and a little bit wider vase, and that one was cut size 1.44 by 1.48 height, and again in sunset and lagoon. The third vase was again Aztec, and it was a longer and skinnier one, and it's cut 1.69 wide by 0.94 height, and again it's in sunset and lagoon. The final two vases were little vases where I put the round little cacti in, and they were cut in eggplant and sunset, and their sizes is 0.88. Now let's go on to the cacti. There are a number of cuts in the cacti, and I will go through them one by one. The first cacti I cut was the round prickle cactus, and I cut two of those little round things, and they're 0.83 wide by 0.73 high, and they were cut in pear and New England ivy. The pear is the top layer, the New England ivy is the lower layer. The second image was a cactus, and I call it the cowboy cactus, but on the Close to My Heart Flower Market Cartridge it's just labeled as a cactus. And again, I give you each one of these image numbers so you can easily identify and find them. This one is cut at 1.73 wide by 2.41 height, and it's cut in topiary. You cut it in two sections that have a slit down, and then you combine them. The next image is a cactus, is the prickly pear cactus. It's cut in two layers, same size. The first one is in New England ivy is the background, and pear is the forefront. The size is 1.29 wide by 2.4 height. The next image I cut was, they call it the skinny cactus. I cut two of these at the same size, and then I cut a third one which was smaller. I cut these first two at 0.78 wide by 2.07 height, and they are cut in New England ivy and sweet leaf. The third one is the same cactus, it's just cut smaller, and that's cut at 0.59 wide by 1.58 height, again in New England ivy and sweet leaf being the background. The final image I cut was the little cactus blossom that I attached to the prickly pear. cactus, and that's cut at 0.52 wide by 0.31 height. I don't remember the cardstock that I used, but it was a scrap of pink cardstock. The next thing I did, I took these two colors of Zig markers, one in blush and one in flesh, and just drew all over the front of the cards to give it an earthy tone, so I can give it a little bit of a color background when I start to adhere the cacti to it. The next step is to adhere the vases together, the decorative front and the sunset background. 3 of the vases were done in sunset and lagoon. The 2 smaller vases were done in sunset and eggplant. So let me attach those, adhere them to each other, and then we'll start to get to work on the cacti. The next step, after I've adhered all the vase parts together, the next part is you can see all the cactus pieces. I'm going to adhere those to each other. On this one, you cut in 2 pieces. You don't adhere anything, it just slides in the 2 slots. So that one does not have to be any kind of adhesive. On all the rest of these, we're going to be putting the layers together. So let me glue those together and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now I've adhered all the cacti together and all the vases together. The next step is to assemble the card as shown. I haven't glued anything down on this picture, but I wanted to give you an idea of how it's to be placed. The Texas cactus goes in the regular size pot, the prickly pear goes in the taller one, and the 3 skinny ones go in the skinnier long one, and then the 2 round cacti go in the little ones with the purple trim, and the little flower goes on the prickly pear top of the cactus. So that's how I laid it out. I'm going to take it off camera now and assemble it all, and then you'll see the final project. Here is the completed card with all the layers adhered. I have the different kinds of cactus, and I have the vases, Aztec vases, with a little flower on one of the prickly pear cactuses. I thought it was a cute southwestern kind of card. I'd probably use it as a note card. I love the Flower Market cartridge, so I thought I would try a little something different with the cacti image. I hope you liked my video. I hope you'll check out my website, margaritasmadness.com, to view this and other videos and other projects all made with the Flower Market cartridge. Thank you and have a great day.